It's a majestic stretch of river that's home to the biggest concentration of castles in the world. It's hard not to be amazed by the Renaissance treasures of the Loire Valley. Between Tours and Blois, locals do all they can to keep this royal heritage alive for the millions of tourists who flock here every year.
Okay, let's get you ready. Here's a helmet and some goggles.
It's time to take off from Tours as we head for Amboise with our pilot and tour guide, Patrick. It's a 30-minute flight, which gives passengers a bird's-eye view of these spectacular buildings.
There are lots and lots of castles, many of them private castles. So when you're at this height, you get a really good look at them. To the left, you can see a small private castle with its pretty dovecote.
30 castles in total gracefully dot this region.
And here you can see the royal castle of Amboise.
During the Renaissance, the kings of France turned these defensive fortresses of the Middle Ages into elegant palaces. These castles became places of power and places to party. "500 years later in Amboise, a volunteer association is donning the costumes of the former royal court to plunge us back in time. Who are you impersonating?
Who, me? Apparently I'm being Francois I.
Back then, the ladies would wax their brow, so we make sure there's no hair showing.
She's not put her petticoat on properly.
I'm one of the ladies of the court.
Throughout the year, around 450 enthusiasts meet for a host of events, with the aim of telling the castle's extraordinary story. Francois I turned Amboise into a stunning tribute to the fine arts and to Italy.
He went to claim the heritage of the Kingdom of Naples, and during that trip he met many Italian artists, who he then invited to come and transform his palace here at Amboise.
Not all visitors who come here expect such a colourful display.
It's nice. I'm very surprised.
It's in this workshop that an army of people rewind the clock and make costumes from the past.
You have the coat, the shirt, and then you have the breeches. But back then, it was called eau de chausse.
They have no models. These volunteer seamstresses all work on instinct.
One person cuts, a second puts it together, and a third does all the finishing.
More than 1,000 costumes have been made here in the space of 40 years.
We all love our castle and our town, and we want to tell people the story of everything that went on here in Amboise.
But Francois I's greatest achievement is located a few kilometres from Amboise in Shambaugh. It's a colossal castle whose grounds cover an area as big as Paris. Inside, there are more than 400 rooms, all of which can now be visited in a very state-of-the-art fashion.
You just have to press play to start the audio commentary.
We join these tourists as they make their way around the castle in virtual reality.
Here you can see this first floor room as it was at the time. It's not a gadget. It's really impressive. It's a total dive into the past.
20 rooms have been reconstructed in this way from a collection of engravings and paintings.
This didn't exist. There was no partition here.
Shambaugh is not the only castle to enter the modern age. The Chateau of Athena is being given a new lease of life. In order to finance this expensive restoration project, France's Centre for National Monuments has launched a campaign for online donations. Philippe is one of the curators.
These sculpted details on the edge of the skylight are very exposed to the wind from the west. They are very damaged. Look at this stone here. It's really powdery. If we do nothing, it will disappear. This is the skylight, and it's all part of this heritage that's disappearing. Hello, are you okay? Is it all going as you want it to? It's beautiful.
4 years of work are needed to give back this royal island residence some of its former glory. A restoration on this scale takes place once in 150 years. It's a very special moment for visitors.
We're really lucky. But I'll have to come back in a year and a half when it's over to see the end result.
The Loire Valley is proud to feature on UNESCO's list of World Heritage Sites. Volunteers and visitors help to ensure that these regal relics survive for others to enjoy in the future.